Now keep it going for Jamie. Come on stage now. Come on, how's it work?
The day after my 83-year-old father, J.L. Brickhouse, died, December 31st, 2014, through my tears, I smirked like Sarah Palin as I threw away his 13-year collection of George and Laura Bush Christmas cards. They had metastasized like a Republican cancer. Now, I thought I was giving the Fox News side of him a thorough Karen Silkwood shower. But God and the dead have a vicious sense of humor. The next day, I opened up the mailbox in his Texas house, outpoured a diarrhea of conservative propaganda from the Republican National Committee, the American Conservative Coalition, the NRA, the Tea Party Express, the Catholic Vote, Ted Cruz, Heidi Cruz, Priest for Life pleading to save the newly inseminated, with headlines like, late-term abortions are happening more often than media reports. Really? I mean, how many people are getting late-term abortions? Procrastinators, I guess. My father called me Jamie Pooh, so I called him Daddy Pooh. And we loved each other. So we usually focused on the things we had in common: theater, art, love of old movies. And we let politics remain the red, white, and blue Republican in the room. Elephant in the room. But we secretly harbored wishes for each other. He wished I would start voting Republican. I wished he would stop. I guess I finally got my wish. So I spent the next few weeks at his house in Texas trying to settle the estate and trying to weed out the important mail from the junk mail that arrived in droves and as frequently as anti-gay legislation in southern states. And I have to say, it was pretty cathartic, stuffing hefty bags full of Hillary hate letters and Obama scare you diatribes, and then watching as the garbage truck crushed them into fresh landfill. So a few months later, I sold his house and I closed the mailbox, and I thought, that's it. The mail is done. 2 weeks later, the tiny mail slot of my Manhattan apartment was bulging with conservative correspondence, with yellow forwarding stickers addressed to Daddy Pooh. It's following me! And my friendly postman had now become a specter for the Republican agenda. And when I emptied my mailbox in the lobby of my building, I did it furtively so the neighbors wouldn't see, as if it contained like a copy of Black Inches, instead of what it actually contained, which was Ted Cruz for president. Now, this was 2015, a kinder, gentler time. I'm old enough that I still get fun mail. You know, postcards from friends who are traveling and Christmas cards during the holiday season. But the one sender of fun mail missing, Daddy Pooh. When he was alive, I used to get something from him about once a week, a cartoon, a newspaper clipping, with his wry comments written in his old man shaky spookhouse script. And as much as I hated this pileup of Republican junk mail, it was a perverse way of staying connected to him. But damn, old people get a lot of mail. And I thought, we've got to do something here. And I thought, just calm down, because once the forwarding window expires, the mail will stop. Wrong. Congratulations, J.R. Brickhouse, on your recent move. Now Daddy Pooh's mail was being sent directly to him at my address, sans forwarding sticker. I was like, it's gotta stop. It's gotta stop. And so I actually kind of became a little crazy, and I started taking each envelope and writing in red magic marker, return to sender, deceased, dead, can no longer vote or give you monsters money. It didn't work. A week later, my mailbox was even fatter, as all those red inked envelopes were sitting there like proud carrier pigeons come home to roost. Turns out that junk mail has a special postage rate, so you can't return it. And I was like, they have to be stopped. So then I started calling each and every one of the organizations and demanding that they cease mailing the deceased. I was as relentless as a Republican trying to overturn Obamacare. And it wasn't doing anything. And when my work started slipping, and I skipped meals, and I forgot to bathe. And one day, I was on the phone with a nice conservative lady from the American Bible Society making one of these cease and desist phone calls, and she said these calls were about as effective as trying to plug holes in the Titanic with a postage stamp. But she told me that I could register his name with an online service that removed dead people from mailing lists, and I told her, thank God! And she said, please do. And then the following Christmas, about a year after his death, his mail finally died. And I thought, oh, heaven. And as I was sitting there opening my own junk mail, and then I got to the good stuff, the Christmas cards from my friends near and far. And then there was a big oversized one that I saved to the end because it was the promise of a deluxe Christmas card. And I opened it up, and out popped an 8.5 by 10 glossy color photo of a heterosexual couple in front of a giant Christmas tree. And the man in a red tie had a monkey mischievous grin on his face, and the woman had the lobotomized glaze of a Stepford wife. And the message said, Dear J.L. Brickhouse, warmest holiday wishes, George and Laura Bush. Thank you.